This is the fastest way to learn to speak German. I'm going to show you a step-by-step plan that you can follow. And in a few weeks, you'll be able to have conversations already. And if you keep going, in a few months, you'll be pretty much fluent. It's a very simple plan, no fluff. We get rid of everything that's not that useful, which is a lot in regular language courses. And we're just going to stick to what's necessary and important, which is learning a lot of words, useful words, and useful sentences, even more important. And then doing a lot of listening, reading, and speaking practice. That's the only thing you need to do. Things like grammar, which tends to be quite complicated in German. Grammar rules are quite complicated. But you don't need to study grammar to learn to use grammar correctly. I'm going to show you how to do it in a much more natural way. You learn the grammar the same way you learned it in your native language, by listening and speaking mostly. All right. So, in order to learn a language, you basically need to do three basic things. You need to learn a lot of sentences, and you need to do a lot of listening to native speaker content or speech, and you need to do a lot of speaking practice. It's not enough to know the words and the grammar structures and all of that. You also need to practice speaking, because speaking is a physical skill, and your mouth, you not only need to know the theory behind it and the words and the grammar, your mouth needs to be trained. It needs practice speaking so that you don't struggle to form sentences when you're speaking. All right. So you just need those three things. And the fastest and easiest way to get there is to prepare your own sentences instead of learning random stuff from, I don't know, Duolingo or grammar books, courses where they teach you a lot of random vocabulary. No, just write down the things that you're likely to say. You write down everything about yourself and the questions that you are likely to have to answer. Like, what's your name? My name is this and that. Where are you from? I'm from this place, and now I live here. Or I'm here I'm here on holiday. I'm here on a business trip. I like this and that. I don't like this. I've been to those places. This is my job. This is what I do. I like doing this. All that stuff. The things you normally talk about. All the usual topics. All the usual situations and conversations you already have. You usually have in the language. You make a list and you write every single sentence that you're likely to say. And those are your language islands. And with around 1,000 good sentences like this, what's your name? My name is Mikel. Where are you from? I'm from the Basque Country. Where you live? I live in San Sebastian. Questions and answers, lots about yourself. If you translate those into the target language, get them in German, simply add some translation code and you automatically translate them into German like this with DE here. And then you can start drilling them. And the only thing you need to do is to listen and say them a lot aloud. If you listen to these sentences a lot, provided you already know what they mean, which if you first listen to them while reading, and by listening to them, I mean you take this, paste it in a text-to-speech software like TTS Maker. There are lots of different ones. I like TTS Maker. Paste there and you get audio files, text-to-speech audio files. And then you can listen to it with pretty natural sounding German while reading this. So, mein Name ist Mikel, woher kommst du? Ich komme aus dem Baskenland in Spanien, wo wohnst du? Blah, blah, blah. You read while listening from start to finish, and you do it again and again from start to finish, over and over. And whenever you don't know the meaning of something, you just check. But you don't stop. You just check as fast as you can and go back. And you try to get as many reps as possible with it. And after 5 to 10 reps with your list, and you can go through 1,000 sentences in 45 minutes this way, right? And after 5 to 10 rounds of going like from start to finish, reading while listening and checking the meaning, you'll understand pretty much everything. And then you'll be able to just keep listening to it while doing other things, which is really practical. You can listen to it while working out or while cooking or while shopping, driving, lots of different activities. Anytime you can listen to music or a podcast, you can listen to this as well. And you can, this way, get over 10 hours of listening practice a week easily, uh, with your own sentences. And after like 20 or 30 rounds of listening to them, you'll know them well and you'll even be able to say them. And then you just start shadowing as well, which means when you're listening to them, after reading and listening and getting a bunch of reps, while you're listening to them, you say them aloud as well. So you hear it, and you say it. My name is Mikel. When it comes to, you say it with it. And at first it'll be difficult, but you keep doing it, and it'll get easier and easier very quickly. Your pronunciation will improve by doing this, and your ability to just speak in full sentences will improve as well. And you just have to keep doing that over and over with your own sentences until you can say them relatively easily. And the last exercise would be active recall, which means reading the English and trying to say them in German without looking. This is much more difficult, but also it's an extremely effective exercise because it makes you think in the language. It helps you think faster in the language, and also it helps you make fewer mistakes when you speak, because if you try to translate into German from English and you make mistakes, my Name ist Mikel. Yeah, correct. Woher kommst du? Correct. Ich komme aus dem Baskenland in Spanien. Correct. You do that and okay. Ich spreche viele Sprachen. Let's say I said whatever. Anyway, I'm not going to make mistakes with this. If you make mistakes, ich spreche viele Sprachen. Okay. There were no ends there. You see it, then you say it. I made mistakes. Okay. Ich spreche viele Sprachen. Tomorrow, if you try again with the same list, you'll remember a lot of the mistakes you made. And in a few days, after several rounds with the same list, with the same sentences, you'll make much fewer mistakes. And you'll also do it faster and much more easily. The more you do this translation exercise, the easier it will get to think in the language. Like the faster you'll think in the language, and the fewer mistakes you make. And that's basically it. That's all you need to do. Keep adding more and more sentences to this list. Do a lot of repetition with them. Listen and read at the same time. Just listen, then listen and repeat them aloud simultaneously, shadowing, and finally translate into the language. And if you keep doing this, and once you've done it with several thousand sentences, if you add 100 sentences a day or 50 sentences a day, you can have several thousand very quickly. And once you've got a couple thousand sentences learned like this, you can start listening to native speaker content, and it will be much more difficult in the beginning, but it'll be much easier after a while. Like, this will really help you understand as well. And this is basically how language learning works. This is the fastest way to learn to speak German and also to understand it.